believe in the Second Amendment, right to keep and bear arms. Shall not be infringed. I don't know how many other ways you can translate that. Shall not be infringed. I believe in the 10th Amendment because I believe in state sovereignty. Our form of government is contractual in nature. The states contract with the central government. They give certain specific authorities, responsibilities to the federal government. Specific, delineated. Insofar as the federal government does not have the rights or the responsibilities spelled out by the Constitution, the federal government has no authority to engage in legislation, again, beyond what the Constitution gives them. This is very important. I think it's very important. I'm going to say, well, you know, it is very important. You know, I just started brainstorming. We talk about education. Education. I believe first right of ownership of a child is to the parent, not the state. I don't support state compulsion laws. I don't support regulations and restrictions on private schools. I'm a father. I have an 11-year-old daughter. I love her more than the state does. I love her more than anybody in this room and any legislator. And I should be able to have the right to enter into agreement with any private institution that I feel will provide her the education that I want. I shouldn't have to ask the government, but they own me. I started brainstorming, and I just started saying, well, what's the economic state? What's the economic condition in our state of Florida? Double-digit unemployment, overall economy near the bottom of the country, unemployment trust fund that has dried up. We all know that our unemployment benefits that we're paying out right now, we're paying out because we took a loan from the federal government. That was a great idea, because we're not going to be on the hook for that. Property taxes have driven businesses away. We pay sales tax, all sorts of things. Commercial property rent, used vehicles. Fees increase and they never seem to end. Our population is in decline. Our state population, look, we are a peninsula. We are a peninsula. We have sun, the beach, everybody wants to come here. Our population is in decline for the first time since World War II. 1 in 4 homes in our state is in some phase of foreclosure, occupational license and debt. This is the economic condition in our state. We need to cut the size of government. We need to cut the size of government. We need to begin with administrative costs. The average superintendent, school system, makes $120,000. Superintendent makes $120,000. Because whenever we start talking, because what happens? Every time we start talking about, well, let's cut salaries, let's cut benefits, right? But it's always, well, the guy who makes $32,000, he's got 4 kids. No, we're not talking. How about leadership starts at the top? How about elected officials standing up and saying, you know what, cut my pay, cut my benefits? Because that's what leadership is. It comes from the top. But we don't see that. State assets. We need to auction them off. We need to load shed state services. The private sector is by definition efficient. The private sector can run libraries. They can operate mass transit. Incidentally, I do not support Sunrail. I'm not quite sure why this sort of keeps coming up. Americans like cars. We like getting on our own cars, and we like driving to where we want to drive to. I believe that for this state to pull itself out of the economic situation that we're in, we need to reduce the burdens on small businesses. And we need to take a look at everything. Everything. That means minimum wage laws, that means workmen's compensation, that means labor practices, that means taxes across the board. I am not for revenue neutral tax reform. Revenue neutral tax reform. If you don't know what that is, that's the government gets the same amount of money just from someone else's pocket. Maybe they don't fleece it from you. They go plunder the other guy down the road. No. Reduction across the board. That's stimulus. I'll close with a quote from Lincoln. It's very popular. Most people have heard it. I don't agree with Lincoln on a number of things, but he was genius when he made this comment. America will never be destroyed from the outside. If we falter and lose our freedoms, that's an important point. Because he doesn't say, if we are destroyed. No, he says if we falter, meaning that if we stumble, if we allow this to happen, if there's a transition period before what? Before we lose our freedoms. If we falter and lose our freedoms, it's because we've destroyed ourselves. If we falter and lose our freedoms. Losing our freedoms, therefore, is I couldn't be any more clear on my website. You can go to my website, you know where I stand, come up, ask me questions, text me, give me a call, write me a letter, shoot me an email. I'll discuss any issue about anything. I'll make an attempt to be as clear as I possibly can. But you should know where I stand philosophically, where my principles are. And I'm going to be guided by principles and not politics. I'm asking to be your representative. Thank you very much.